The female doctor coughed lightly, breaking the awkward atmosphere. That person got what he deserved, we all saw it. She said this without blushing or her heart racing. After seeing what just happened, everyone else nodded in agreement. Lin Ziluo nodded with satisfaction. As long as everyone loves each other, nothing bad will happen. As Lin Ziluo passed by, they immediately stood up in fear. Lin Ziluo couldn't be bothered to deal with them either. He found a relatively comfortable office chair and sat down. Clean up this corpse and the blood. The big shot spoke and no one dared to disobey. They quickly nodded in agreement. The female doctor and the nurse began dealing with the bloodstains, while the two maintenance workers moved the body elsewhere. Lin Ziluo fixed his gaze on the female doctor, feeling as though he had seen her somewhere before. So he checked her basic information. Nickname Zhongyeshua, title Nun, level 0. It turned out to be someone he had encountered in the later stages of the apocalypse, the holder of the hidden profession, divine healer. Back then, he had sought treatment from Zhongyeshua several times after sustaining severe injuries. It's just that her demeanor back then was quite different from what it is now. Indeed, who hasn't been deeply scarred by the apocalypse? However, Lin Ziluo had no particular thoughts about the hidden class of divine healer. After all, in the apocalypse only strength grants the right to speak. He raised his hand to check his watch. It was already 8:30. The long-awaited feast had arrived. He pulled out a thick stack of cards from the storage space. A generous 4-dish meal and a soup appeared on the table. The few people huddled in the corner instantly widened their eyes. They swallowed hard with difficulty, their eyes fixed on the way Lin Ziluo was eating. Zhongyeshua couldn't help but slowly step forward and ask, "Where did you get this food? I wonder if we might have a chance to get some too." Lin Ziluo felt a surge of joy in his heart and thought to himself, the fish has taken the bait. In the apocalypse, just a bowl of plain rice is enough. You can win the school belle who is usually out of your league. And just to get a bite of a hamburger. The female doctor and nurse decided to trade their bodies in exchange, watching as Lin Ziluo slowly approached them. The innocent nurse was trembling uncontrollably out of fear. Little did they know, Lin Ziluo simply took out a list and asked them to find the items and pack them all for him. Hearing this condition, Zhongyeshua asked in disbelief, "All you need is for us to help you find the medicine?" Lin Ziluo looked at her sweating profusely and asked in confusion, "What did you think I was going to do?" Zhongyeshua smiled awkwardly and said, it's nothing. We'll help you find it right away." He handed them some food cards. Lin Ziluo then turned around and prepared to go to the infusion room to rest for a while. To ensure safety, he also placed an eye of reconnaissance at the entrance. Only then did he feel reassured enough to lie down on the bed. Lin Ziluo checked his storage space to make sure nothing was left behind, then pulled up his status panel. He was still more than 20 experience points short of reaching level 6. With a full morning ahead tomorrow, there was plenty of opportunity to kill enough zombies to reach that amount. With that thought, Lin Ziluo closed his eyes and drifted into sleep. The next day, Lin Ziluo was awakened by the alarm clock and stepped out of the single room. He found that the 4 migrant workers were quite diligent. They had been busy all the way until now. Lin Ziluo made a rough estimate. These props, along with the medicine, should be about enough. Then, as agreed, he handed them the food cards, one for each person, at a fair and reasonable price. The young nurse and the repairman sincerely said thank you. Zhongyeshua looked at the card in her hand in surprise. She had thought Lin Ziluo would kill them all, never expecting him to keep his promise even in the apocalypse. But is he really not interested in me? At this thought, her face suddenly flushed a little red. Just as Lin Ziluo was about to leave, she suddenly asked, how do I use this card, expert? Lin Ziluo didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He had forgotten that this apocalypse game didn't even have a beginner's tutorial. In his previous life, it had taken him several days just to learn how to open the storage space. He didn't hide anything and taught them the activation method. Looking at the KFC they wouldn't have glanced at before. They were so excited that tears almost welled up in their mouths. Recalling Zhongyeshua's help to him in his previous life. If I can build a good relationship with her in this life, I might be able to rely on her if I get hurt in the future. So Lin Ziluo reminded Zhongyeshua to leave this place promptly at 12 noon. By that time he should have cleared out a large portion of the zombies. Lin Ziluo put away the thick cloth. Then he prepared to leave this place. Remember not to miss the time. Zhongyeshua couldn't help but speak up with concern. There are zombies outside, it's dangerous. Lin Ziluo chuckled lightly. You should worry about yourself more. After saying that, he pushed open the door and walked out of the infirmary. The number of zombies outside is a bit more than last night. Lin Ziluo started his flashy maneuvering mode. He found the nearest zombie and stabbed it in the throat with a single strike. Then he gently laid the zombie's body down without making a sound. Lin Ziluo proceeded to do the same in the same manner. He cleared all the zombies in the passage. Then he slowly explored the gymnasium. When passing by the men's restroom, he heard a faint sound. Lin Ziluo went in and was dumbfounded at what he saw. This zombie probably mutated while using the toilet. A person and a zombie exchanged a glance. The zombie excitedly lunged toward Lin Ziluo, but ended up tripping and falling flat on the ground because it took too big a step. Lin Ziluo didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He finished off the experienced baby that had delivered itself right to his doorstep with a single slash. It has to be said, the survival rate of people in this stadium is really low. When he arrived at the women's restroom, it made Lin Ziluo feel a bit embarrassed. What if there was a female zombie using the restroom inside? Mission accomplished, don't sweat the small details. Lin Ziluo found an excuse for herself. Then he tiptoed and opened the door. Fortunately, he found it completely empty inside. Suddenly, 2 roars came from the compartment, each with a different tone. Could it be? Lin Ziluo slashed open the compartment door with a single strike of his blade. A shocking and vulgar scene unfolded before his eyes. 2 zombies were inside, playfully pressing against each other. Holy crap! You two are absolutely insane. How dare you show off your affection right in front of me? Lin Ziluo didn't hesitate and swiftly ended the lives of the desperate couple with a single strike. Then he hurriedly took several close-up shots of them. Lin Ziluo suddenly recalled. The more he looked, the more they resembled the famous zombie couple. They are the ones whose power is second only to the zombie king. I never expected that he would be taken down right at the beginning of the apocalypse. Lin Ziluo put away his phone with satisfaction. Then he bent down and picked up the dropped prop fusion stone from the ground. It can fuse bronze grade equipment with a chance to reach silver grade. Lin Ziluo was quite surprised. No wonder the 2 zombies only dropped 1 item, it turns out you 2 were fused together. Just as he was about to leave, he noticed a glow coming from the last compartment. Lin Ziluo cautiously approached. Suddenly he froze completely. A cyan treasure chest was quietly placed beside the squat toilet. Player vindictiveness has detected a bronze treasure chest. Reputation increased by 10 points. Lin Ziluo was instantly overjoyed. The feeling of being the luckiest player was absolutely exhilarating. He crouched down and placed his hand on the treasure chest. He silently prayed. Trade 10 years of Mike's single life for something good. Fruit of Vitality. Permanently increases constitution by 2 after consumption. Lin Ziluo felt a bit disappointed. It wasn't strength or agility after all. Seems praying with Mike won't work. But when he saw it was permanent, he wasn't that upset anymore. Lin Ziluo took a bite of the fruit. Instantly, the sweet flavor flooded his mouth. Such a small women's restroom held so many benefits. He was starting to look forward to the zombies that would come later. Lin Ziluo arrived at the gymnasium's main hall to save time. He took out a large, heavy carpet from his storage space and laid it on the ground, so that when the zombie lands, it falls onto the carpet. It won't make too much noise. Without any hesitation, Lin Ziluo took down each little friend with a single strike. He had no idea how many times he swung the blade. Finally, all the zombies in the hall collapsed. He successfully leveled up to 6. He checked the On-Man's army mission and found that his number of zombie kills had reached 62. Lin Ziluo put away the Tang saber and began to clean up the battlefield. Lion bracers are wrist guards empowered by the power of the lion, possessing an effect that can intimidate others. This equipment suits Lin Ziluo perfectly, as it can interrupt enemy skills at critical moments. In the Apocalypse game, the head slot can be equipped with either a helmet or a mask, but only one of them can be active at a time. The body has 8 fixed equipment slots in total. After cleaning up, Lin Ziluo went straight to the entrance of the emergency exit on the 3rd floor. As soon as he stepped onto the 3rd floor, an extremely strong smell of blood hit him. Countless corpses lay strewn across the corridor, their deaths exceptionally gruesome. Ordinary zombies wouldn't create such a horrifying scene. Based on past life experiences, Lin Ziluo speculated that either a boss-level zombie had appeared, or it could be zombified animals, but the probability of animals turning into zombies is relatively low. Otherwise, humans would have already been wiped out by zombie animals. Lin Ziluo's expression suddenly changed after observing. This was done by a zombie cat. Do you know how terrifying a cat infected with the zombie virus can be? They use their sharp claws to continuously torment their owners. They also arranged their eyeballs in their nests. As Lin Ziluo stepped onto the third floor, an extremely strong smell of blood hit him. Countless corpses lay scattered across the corridor, their deaths exceptionally gruesome. After observing, Lin Ziluo concluded that it was the work of a zombie cat. And the animal he hates the most is the zombie cat, because they possess sharp hearing and perception abilities. This zombie cat definitely already knows of his arrival. Now it's just a matter of whether the zombie cat plans to ambush him, or intends to brutally kill him head-on. Lin Ziluo closed his eyes to sense the movements within a 100-meter radius, and it did not disappoint him. Suddenly a sharp piercing cat cry rang out. A Maine Coon suddenly swiped a paw at him. Lin Ziluo, who had been on guard, quickly stepped back. Then he checked its attributes. Sharp Claw Zombie Cat Bronze Grade Boss. Sharp Claw. After damaging an enemy, the wound will be in a torn state. Cat Eye Gaze. Can pull enemies into the terrifying illusion created by the cat's eyes, causing a fear status effect. Zombie animals with prefixes represent boss-level entities. Although their attributes are overwhelmingly powerful, Lin Ziluo's expression remained unchanged from start to finish. This reflects his full confidence in his own combat abilities. The kitten obediently let me pet it, but seemed to sense a threat. The Maine Coon's fur instantly stood on end. Detected player Vindictiveness encountering Bronze Grade Boss. Triggered mission. Defeat Zombie Cat. Mission reward. 100 reputation points, 500 gold coins, half of a used pantyhose, 1 bronze grade item. Mission penalty none. Lin Ziluo couldn't help but exclaim. Is this really the same mission system that has tricked me countless times? In the previous life, the Apocalypse game's missions were the most treacherous, extremely high difficulty with penalties for refusal. Even a level 9 bronze grade boss was nearly impossible to defeat in the early Apocalypse, even with dozens of players teaming up. But Lin Ziluo was completely unfazed and chose to accept the mission. The zombie cat, after emerging, simply stood in place, staring intently at Lin Ziluo. In its perception, humans were nothing more than a toy to amuse itself with when bored. It even extended one paw to lick its claws, striking a pose reminiscent of a beauty emerging from a bath. Lin Ziluo would never be provoked by such a trivial taunt. Based on his experience when facing a game boss's provocation, the player loses if they take it seriously. So he simply sat down, took out his phone, and started browsing Mike's comic explanations. The zombie cat instantly bristled with anger. Don't you see such an adorable little kitten right in front of you? Rage filled its heart as it stood up and slowly began moving toward Lin Ziluo. It noticed that Lin Ziluo was still completely absorbed in looking at his phone. The zombie cat directly activated its skill, Phantom Pounce. The entire cat pounced toward Lin Ziluo as if it had become ethereal. At that moment, Lin Ziluo also moved, leaning backward to dodge the incoming sharp claws. The phone in his hand was also replaced with a tang saber. Missing the first strike, the zombie cat pounced again. Lin Ziluo anticipated its next move. In a flash, he had already moved behind it. The zombie cat suddenly revealed a hint of a sneer. It had actually anticipated Lin Ziluo's move, twisting its slender waist to dodge the blade from behind. Lin Ziluo let out a light chuckle, as if everything was under his control. He swiftly swung his blade again, slashing across its cat-like paws. Accompanied by a painful howl, the zombie cat swiftly leaped back, retreating several meters away. It glared at Lin Ziluo with resentment. Its 3 sharp claws had already been sheared off. These were its primary weapons for combat. Lin Ziluo looked at it with a smile, his infuriating expression seeming to say, "Your claws are gone, come and hit me if you dare." How could Zombie Cat possibly endure such an insult? It suddenly let out a strange cry, and then a faint purple glow flickered in its blood-red eyes. This was the cat's gaze. In an instant, Lin Ziluo was pulled into an illusion. In the endless darkness, a scar-covered cat face appeared before his eyes, and human limbs crawled out from the enormous eyes. Lin Ziluo let out a disdainful laugh. In his past life, he had slaughtered 100,000 zombies in a single day. Suddenly, an overwhelming killing intent erupted from him. The blood-red killing intent surged overwhelmingly, heading straight for its cat-like face. The zombie cat let out a piercing shriek, and the illusion shattered instantly like a bubble. It let out a mournful cry and retreated several steps in a row, its face filled with terror as it stared at Lin Ziluo's figure. Without hesitation, it turned and fled. Lin Ziluo had been waiting for this exact moment all along. Whirlwind slash. The tang saber in his hand was thrown out. The sharp tang saber spun at high speed like a meat grinder. It sliced right through its head in an instant. System messages flooded Lin Ziluo's vision. Congratulations, player, for being the first to defeat a bronze-grade boss. Earned a globally unique achievement, the Sorrow of Bronze. About to issue a server-wide announcement. At this very moment, the sky across the entire Earth darkens. The name Vindictiveness appears before everyone once again. Many men around the world are filled with jealousy, their faces twisted with envy. Who is this guy? How come all the world announcements are about him? And there are ordinary girls hiding in their small homes, harboring fantasies of vindictiveness. Brother is so handsome. When will he come to marry this princess? This has also attracted the attention of major forces from various countries. Such a name, filled with the mythical essence of China, must belong to one of our own. If such a powerful individual is willing to join our organization, our strength will be significantly enhanced. Someone responded from the darkness. I'll go find him right away. Lin Ziluo touched his face and said helplessly, this time the commotion is a bit too big. It seems I'll have to cover up my handsome face from now on. After saying that, he activated a chair and sat down on it. During the battle with the zombie cat, he remained in a state of high mental tension. The Sorrow of Bronze unique title. All attributes +2. Against bosses below bronze grade or ordinary zombies, it reduces their base attributes by 5. This ridiculously overpowered title, Lin Ziluo didn't hesitate for a second before replacing First Blood with it. If he were to encounter the zombie cat again now, he could effortlessly dominate it without any trouble. After resting for nearly half an hour, he finally fully recovered and walked toward the items. Zombie cat's horn. After blowing the horn, it can summon a sharp-clawed zombie cat. The player can command the zombie cat to fight for 30 minutes. This is actually a summoning type item, not a growth type one. That's seriously impressive. Lin Ziluo didn't even spare the corpse of the zombie cat, as animal claws can be crafted into weapons. He gleefully stored it away in his storage space, but the surprises were far from over. The main event at the gymnasium, the silver treasure chest, was still waiting for him. Lin Ziluo pushed open the warehouse door, and the scene inside was even more horrifying than outside. Hundreds of human eyeballs piled together. However, accustomed to such sights, Lin Ziluo remained completely unfazed. He rummaged through the warehouse for a while. Finally, at the very back of the warehouse, Lin Ziluo spotted the silver treasure chest he had been longing for. He stepped forward and placed his hand on it. Player vindictiveness detected. Silver treasure chest found. Opening the silver treasure chest requires 60 seconds. During the waiting time, Lin Ziluo resorted to his previous prayer method. I'm willing to sacrifice 3 centimeters of Mike's height in exchange for something good. The white light faded away, revealing a piece of silver equipment and a skill book. Lin Ziluo couldn't help but exclaim in astonishment. Sacrificing Mike really does bring miracles. He eagerly picked up the skill book. Explosive Twin/Warrior class skill. Capable of delivering 2 instantaneous strikes. If both slashes hit the same enemy, it will trigger an explosion. This is indeed the warrior class skill one needs, though its execution difficulty is quite high. If both consecutive strikes miss, the subsequent effect cannot be triggered. White Wing Cloak. Equipping it enables brief gliding, and allows for momentary hovering during jumps. Even the well-informed Lin Ziluo showed a look of astonishment. It was actually a silver-grade cloak with its own skill. Without hesitation, Lin Ziluo draped the cloak over his shoulders. He really hit the jackpot coming to the gym this time. His original plan was just to go find trouble with Li Haobua in the evening. Now it seems that goal was a bit too modest. Why not just send everyone in the Li Manor away instead? In the apocalypse, ordinary people are still struggling to survive, while the chaebol have become even more unrestrained. Not only do they live in magnificent estates, but also keep countless beauties in captivity. In their eyes, women are treated like mere commodities. When they're in a bad mood, they slap them hard. Why haven't they caught and brought them back yet? Do I keep them just to freeload? And at that moment, Lin Ziluo had just dealt with the zombie cat. He had only one goal left, which was to complete the mission assigned by the Golden Finger system. He was very curious about what the effects of the ordinary Golden Finger would be. Lin Ziluo returned to the second floor. He deliberately knocked on the door to attract the zombie's attention, because now he is completely different from who he was yesterday. This time he chose to take the initiative. The swift effect of the wind boots on his feet was instantly activated. Lin Ziluo strode forward, charging toward the horde of zombies. He leaped into the air with a single step, soaring above the ground. Tang saber pierced directly through the skull of a zombie. Then he stomped on its head with his foot. Then, activating the white wing cloak's brief hover ability, he actually floated in midair. If Newton saw this, he'd be so excited he'd crawl right out of his coffin. In midair, he brandished the Tang saber, preparing to test the newly acquired skill, Explosive Twin Slash. The sharp blade of the Tang saber gleamed with a cyan light. Both slashes struck the same zombie. With a loud boom, the entire hall erupted in a violent explosion. Lin Ziluo was stunned by the scene before his eyes. He was thrown backward by the shockwave. First attempt at using Explosive Twin Slash. Lin Ziluo was very satisfied after testing the new equipment and skills obtained. He finally entered a state of seriousness. Lin Ziluo's figure continuously weaved through the zombie horde. With a swift raise and fall of his blade, a zombie lost its head. Just as he was still immersed in the thrill brought by the slaughter, he suddenly realized there were no more zombies in front of him. He looked back and saw the ground covered with the bodies of zombies. He hadn't expected to resolve everything so quickly. Perhaps I used up all my luck today by getting too many good items earlier. These zombies mostly drop supply cards. However, the mission was already completed, so he didn't dwell on it further. He immediately activated the cheat system right on the spot. Congratulations, player. You have obtained the bronze grade equipment Vampiric Ring.